Hello everyone, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Céline Bechler and I am delighted to join you as part of the Great Wine Capitals Lausanne team. I also have the privilege of leading the webinar subcommittee within the network, where we organize meaningful discussions on critical topics shaping the future of wine tourism, just like today's focus. The Great Wine Capitals Global Network connects 12 renowned wine regions. Together, we strive to foster collaboration and excellence in wine tourism, offering innovative and sustainable opportunities for everyone to experience the beauty and culture of our regions. Today's topic is inclusivity in wine tourism, with a particular focus on improving accessibility for individuals with physical disabilities. This is a vital conversation for our industry as we aim to create welcoming, barrier-free environments that allows everyone to enjoy the richness and the diversity of our wine regions. It is my great pleasure to introduce our moderator, Bento Amaral, whose inspiring personal and professional journey embodies the spirit of inclusivity. Based near Porto, Bento is the founder of Human Winery, a company dedicated to empowering underrepresented groups within the wine and hospitality sectors. A world disabled sailing champion, a Paralympic athlete, Bento brings invaluable insight from his extensive experience and tireless advocacy for greater inclusion. Bento will guide us through this important conversation, sharing practical strategies and fostering a dialogue on making wine tourism truly accessible and welcoming for all. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Bento. Thank you for being here. I hope you find today's webinar both insightful and inspiring.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. And it is a great, real pleasure, honor, I would say, to be here to moderate this wonderful group and to speak about inclusive wine tourism. And I will do a 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes introduction regarding inclusive wine tourism and who can gain with that. I would say that, first of all, we need to know that something like 20% almost of people have disabilities in the world. This means that we have 1.3 billion people with disabilities. These are figures from the World Health Organization from 2023. The inclusive tourism market potential is of 780 billion euros per year. These are figures from Eurostat. So why not to try to profit of this? This is not only a question of, in my opinion, of have a better world for everyone, but also a question of also having some money inside. Wine tourism by itself generated around $9 billion worldwide in 2020. This figure is forecasted to reach incredible $30 billion by 2030. This because, of course, the wineries can try to sell their wines, sell their experiences also. For the wine lover perspective, you can have also a different approach because you will understand your wine, and you can also have different and unique sensory experiences. But also for the not necessarily wine connoisseur tourist, because our landscapes are beautiful and they can have also a cultural immersion. In summary, we have benefits for all the parties. For wineries, as a marketing, loyalty, and profitability strategy. For wine lovers, it is a way to deepen knowledge and create memories around wine. And finally, for not knowledgeable wine connoisseurs, it is an opportunity for leisure, culture, and discovery. This is something that our 3 speakers of today are going to speak, and I'm going to start to introduce the first one, that is Analia Videla. that is in Argentina. She's the founder and director of the Wine Institute, an institution with operations in Mendoza, Salta, and Santiago de Chile. As I know that during her presentation, she's going also to make a little bit to talk about what she's doing for sure. I will pass to the floor to Analia, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Analia. Thank you, Benton. And I represent Mendoza from Argentina. I would like to present by me. I am a director and founder of Wine Institute. It's a wine school. I was born in Mendoza. I studied in Lyon, in France, and I continue my studies in California. So I create the Wine Institute. It's a school that learn about wine, wine tourism, wine marketing, and sommelier. And with the deaf people, we create an app to use in the wineries. Because the deaf people don't have tools to visit a winery. So we obtained with deaf people and the Monteviejo Winery too, the Best of Wine Tourism Award of Innovation and Accessible Wine Tourism in...
I'm sorry, can we share your presentation, please, Analia?
Yes,
yes, I know that. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, this is the presentation, and yes, this is my CV. But it's very important. The objectives is the second slide. Yes, we work with the Monteviejo Winery too, Wine Institute, Mendoza Society of the Deaf. Hilsa is the Argentinian Sign Language instructor of the group, and the other institution. So the objectives of this app is to value of the Society of the Deaf, extension of sign language, because we create the sign language for the wine industry. So incorporate a wine glossary through the creation of an app and train deaf people to work at the wineries and wine tourism. So we create in the Wine Institute a formation about wine tourism that permit the people, the deaf people, study in the process of the wine, the viticulture, the wine marketing, and they create the sign language, the sign. And we have different steps. In 2014, the fair wine tasting for the deaf was organized in the Wine Institute. It was a very inclusive event for the deaf people. In 2014 and 2015, 3 levels of course wine tasting and wine culture is launched by the Wine Institute using the language of the deaf. And we certify it along with the all institutions we participate in this project. So we have different steps in this project. Because I have worked in the inclusivity of the people in the wine industry since 8 years ago. So the third step was create a wine glossary. So we create the signs at the first time, and after that we create the app. So with the programmer of the programmer of the computer. So after that we have a different advance. The app with subtitles in Spanish, English, French, and Portuguese, with the possibility to add more content, because at this moment we have the app is going through an update. So advanced with the virtual testing of the people organized by Bodega Monteviejo or Monteviejo Winery and Wine Institute in pandemia. We organized the wine testing by computer. So it was an amazing experience too, because we have different inconveniences to translate this this kind of this language, or because it was very difficult in pandemia. And after that, we create the wine tourism training for members of the Society for the Deaf in Mendoza at the Wine Institute. And the people take 1 year in the Wine Institute courses. So that it was very completely and accessibility. So it was hard work. I'm going to show you a demo. You have, Catherine, I don't know, I think Irina, the presentation about the app?
Yep.
Yes? Okay. The video doesn't have sound to be more inclusive with people. So the video doesn't have sound. Okay. Thank you. This is Mariana. Mariana Martinez is a creator to the wine glossary too. And she represents the deaf people of Mendoza. So that's all. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Analia. We will have, please put your questions in chat and we will answer them. And before that, I will introduce the next speaker, Véronique Bourrigaud. Véronique Bourrigaud and her husband manage the family estate Château Champion, located in the heart of the Saint-Emilion vineyards, as well as the Château Vieux-Grand-Faury and Château Haute-Terrasse properties. Together, they work to promote this wine heritage, promoting know-how passed down for 8 generations. Invested in an eco-responsible approach, Véronique contributed to the transition to organic farming certified in 2021. As a tour guide, she is naturally involved in wine tourism, offering immersive experiences in the vineyards, tasting and eco-responsible stays for wine and nature lovers, and for all types of visitors. She advocates accessible tourism for all, certified by Tourism and Handicap Association in France. Véronique will present the French Tourism and Handicap label, what is it, how to obtain it and its importance, the impact of this label on their wine tourism, the specific offers they have put in place to welcome all kinds of visitors, and finally, awareness of disability creates a positive dynamic.
So
Please,
good.
Véronique.
So thanks, Bento. So good afternoon, everyone. So I will share up. Okay. Voilà. So as Bento told you, yes, we are in Saint-Émilion in the region of Bordeaux. So for the label, tourism and handicap label, it's interesting to know what is it, how to obtain it, and the importance of the placard and the impact in our activities and inclusive virtuous cycle. So what is it? In fact, it was created in 2001. It's something which is voluntary, and this label highlights sites that provide special amenities for the comfort and ease of use of people with disabilities during activities such as the guided tour. While many long-term disabled individuals wish to be treated as fully independent, so it's really reassuring to know that tailored solutions are available when needed. And this label is divided in 4 different categories of disabilities. So hearing, mental, visual, and motor. And the label can be delivered for at least 2 disabilities. So it's something which is important, how to obtain it. In fact, it happens in 2 parts. Because the label is voluntary, you need to think about what to change on your property to be accessible to everyone. So planning accessibility upgrades before beginning renovation can reduce the cost and improve functionality. Once a modification are completed, a panel consisting of at least 2 members who will verify compliance. So in general, it's typically representative from your local tourist office. So for us, it was Saint-Émilion Tourist Office, a disability association, and Gironde Tourism, which is the departmental for Bordeaux Organization of Tourism. So that's important. So you could find some different pictures on the slide of different organizations we did for motor disability. So the importance of the label, in fact, being inclusive allows you to welcome as many people as possible. So the statistics are provided on the slide. In France, over 9 million people have a disability. In the world, almost 15% of the population has a disability. You could also add all the people over 75 years old that have difficulties moving. So or accessible offering are well suited to the slow tourism trend and cater to an aging people population. Facilities designed with accessibility in mind, such as rest areas and step-free spaces, offer significant added value. Château Champion, the property, was labelized since 2018 for all the 4 disability. Which is really important, and we have to be inclusive and be able to accept everyone. And having been rewarded by the Best of Wine Tourism, we helped really. It's important that we help the couple The COPIL is the steering committee, which is decided by Gironde Tourism in association with the professionals, institution, and disability association, and it permitted to help spread the label to other structure. So the impact in all activities, we try to offer different experiences tailored to individuals with disabilities, like specialized workshops, so sensory activities to play on different scents, for example, what we call in French FALC, so easy to read and understand content, photo and placards in different places and the circuit. And of course, for example, magnetic loop, it's another example. But we have different activities and we try to develop and to improve all the time. So inclusive theaters cycles, all facilities are designed for people with disabilities, but also for general public, we mustn't forget it. And opening for wheelchairs can be really used by strollers, for example. So for families, it's very important. FALC elements are also used for the different education for with children. We welcome a lot of schools also for different activities. So it's really easy to adapt to many things. And of course, the transmission of our values for the biodiversity and environmental protection, which hinders to the best of wine tourism 2023. So if I could help you, I will answer to your question. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Veronique. I will remember everyone that you can put your questions in your Q&A chat. Otherwise, I will have plenty of questions to put. But finally, we are going to hear our last speaker from the day, but not last but not least, of course, Ainara de Dios. She holds a degree in translation and interpreting. Her passion for the wine industry led her to join the wine tourism department of a Rioja winery earlier in her career. Since 2007, she has been part of Bodegas Valmar, where she is responsible for the marketing and communication department. But now I will pass the floor to Ainara, that will speak also a little bit about her experience, and that is going to enrich us all for sure. Thank you, Ainara.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you to Great Wine Capitals for inviting us to join to this webinar. It's a great pleasure to be here. So I'm going to share my presentation. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay, I work in Bodegas Valdemar, as Sandra has mentioned, and in the marketing department. And Bodegas Valdemar is a family company with roots back to 130 years. We're fourth, fifth generation company. And in April 2019, we opened a winery in the United States in a place called Walla Walla, and in Dark Park in Washington State. We also have made an inclusive and 100% accessible wine tourism project. It's very important to us to have in both wineries, in the Rioja, in the Spanish winery, and in the American winery, this accessible project. But I'm going to focus in our Rioja project. Well, in 2016, we decided to embark on the adventure of our wine tourism. Maybe we did it a bit late with respect to other wineries in the area. So our aim, our goal was to differentiate ourselves in two ways. First, to create unique and distinctive experiences that stand apart for what already exists in this region, in the Rioja region. And second, to open our doors to everyone, ensuring that anyone could visit Bodegas Valdemar. Our efforts were soon rewarded, very soon rewarded, only in 2 years, as we have won the Best of Wine Tourism Award in 2 occasions, twice. On the first occasion, it was with our family experience, a visit designed for families accompanied by children. It was a kind of a gincana, a game, where adults and children could learn more about the world of wine while having fun. And after that first experience, we decided to go into the accessible and inclusive wine tourism. And the second recognition came in the year 2020 with the WAS Best of Wine Tourism and Global Winner, International Winner for this inclusive experience. We are very proud of this experience, I have to say. Well, why we decided to enter into inclusive wine tourism? For professional reasons, Marisa, is our marketing director, has worked in the past with people with disabilities for several years, and she has been in close contact with people with disabilities. One day at the winery, when she was already working at the winery, a social worker we knew asked if she could bring her group of individuals with cognitive disabilities to visit the winery. After some thought, we said, okay, if we prepare this kind of visit once, why don't repeat this kind of visit for other groups, other people, and other disabilities? So that's why we decided to organize this kind of tours. At that moment, we met a company called Equalitas Vitae, a company specialized in accessible tourism in Spain. We shared the project with them, we shared our thoughts, and they suggested that we could create an inclusive visit open to everyone so that anyone could learn about the world of wine. This is very important to us. We wanted a winery of all and for all, regardless of whether they have or not any type of disability. That was our aim. Our tour is designed so that during the same tour, during the same journey, people with and without disabilities can coexist. The tour adjusts to all the disabilities at the same time. It was very complex, very, very complex to create, but finally we got it, we did it. So again, a winery open to all at the same time. In this photo, you can see an example of a tour made some years ago where people with physical, cognitive, and visual disabilities coexist. Okay, and well, making this dream real took us 1 year, 12 months working to finally have an accessible and inclusive tour. Because we had to go through several phases, meetings, before we had everything ready. During the first meeting with Equalitas Vitae, this company that helped us to introduce the tour, well, they made a report, a document where with all the improvements we had to make for these tours, and our surprise came when the document had 20 pages. So we needed to make 20 pages of things to improve our facilities and our tour. We thought that it was enough to break down the physical barriers and record a couple of videos, but no, it was very complex. It was not only necessary to break the barriers, the physical barriers, it was something more complex. Excuse me. Well, in our tour, in our inclusive tour, we make tours for people with cognitive, hearing, visual, physical, and organic disabilities. So to give a sense of integration to the tour, we realized that the important thing was to focus on the senses that unite all the people in the tour. The senses that brings us together, which are smell, touch, and taste. These are the three senses that in general brings us together. Of these, in Spain, there's an estimation of 3.8 million people, disabled people in Spain, and only 0.4% have problems with smell and taste. Therefore, we decided to focus our message on the senses that unite us. Again, touch, taste, and smell. So during the journey, we touch the tanks, the barrels, the corks of the wine. We explain the dimensions of the spaces, the dimensions of the tanks, and of course, during the tasting, we focus a lot on the aromas and flavors of the wines. Okay, how do we start the journey towards accessibility? Well, there are 3 pages of all the things we needed to change to start with this tour. Well, entrance bell, a bell accessible for people in the car without needing to get out of the car. parking spaces, accessible parking spaces, signage painted, wine store entrance with anti-slip surfaces, glass doors with bands with chromatic colors for blind people, wheelchairs available to the public. This means that we bought 2 wheelchairs in case some visitors need it. Maybe people who can walk but they feel tired, they could use our wheelchairs, and cloths to cover tanks' mouths. In some parts of the winery, on the floor, we have tanks' mouths, so it was necessary to cover them with colorful cloths to avoid that people could damage. Also, the area winemaking and production, again, anti-slip surfaces. In the restrooms, all the signage for PRM, for people with reduced mobility, ramps to access some areas, iPad at the wine bar with accessible videos, easy reading pictograms, wine labels in Braille. All the wines we taste during the tour have a special label with the name of the wine, with the color, with the type of wine. Accessible PDF, easy reading documents for people with cognitive problems, and an accessible website. The wine tourism section is accessible for people with visual problems. Well, and we also needed to adjust, to adapt some existing videos to the tour. The video presentation is a making. We have made a making of video about how we get to this tour. Is on our YouTube channel. It's only in Spanish, but it's very interesting to see all the history behind our tour. Well, the corporate video, the existing corporate video, it has subtitles. Introduction video to explain to basically deaf people how do they have to make the tour, how do they have to follow the guide, and also micro videos. We have created short videos accessible with a QR code in each stop of the tour. Deaf people can scan the QR and they will see a video signing the same message that the guide is saying. Okay, well, here is an example of it. This is the first video that deaf people see when they arrive to the winery. Okay, just explain how the tour works, if they want to be part of the Club Valdemar family, the shop, the discounts in the shop, and everything. Okay, and here we have some examples of the things people can find during the tour. The first document, it's easy to read PDF for people with cognitive problems, disabilities, just in case they cannot drink alcohol, or maybe they are allergic to some products. It's very easy to see. This is wine, this is cheese, this is bread. Okay. Also meeting point, well, how they can enjoy the activity. And well, these are the Braille labels available on the back of the bottles. And the document on the left is a game we made during the tour. In a part of the winery, have a small glasses with aromas, and here the transcription of the aromas they can find inside those small glasses. Well, after having this experience, this inclusive experience, it has a very good impact in media in Spain. We received the visit of many TV, television, Spanish television, regional television, interviews in the press. Well, we are very proud of this. And well, also the awards, not only the Best of Wine Tourism Award, we have received all these other awards for our work in inclusivity. Okay, well, after we introduced this tour in the year 2018, so in a couple of years, we increased 120% our visits for people with disabilities. More than 800 people have visited our facilities since we introduced this tour, and when the 20% of our tours are accessible, are of people with disability problems. So this is all. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much, Ainara. for your presentation. And so we are going to start our question and answers. We have quite a few here. And so probably I will start with something to Analia. I have here also some of them, but and I will try also. Let me see. Regarding Analia, it was where you can have the name of your app, but it has been answered yet, and also
Sorry,
yes.
the name
So,
is Glosario del Vino en LSA. It's in Spanish. So I can
it has been typed. It's for the and the link
yes,
for the
type, yes.
people that are with us. And
Okay.
is this app for free?
Yes, it's free, but now we have another sign to create. So it's in January. I'm going to be ready in January because that we include another sign now. We're working to include another sign.
Okay, thank you. And the last question for this round for you, then I will come back if you have time. Where can we download it from?
In the Play Store.
Yes,
Yes,
Play Store. It is
yes,
in Play
yes.
Store.
We don't have the app yet in the for the iPhone, so only in the Play Store.
Okay, thank you. I will come back to you. And now I think that we have a question that I think it would be nice to be answered by Veronique and Ainara, because this is something that we have more than one question, and I also have this question, and I would say, how many people with disability have you welcomed since you have, well, in this case is for Veronique, your label tourism and handicap?
So more and more, but it's really difficult to say an exact percentage because a lot of people are not saying that they have an handicap, but a lot when they are coming say that everything is done for the accessibility. So it's really difficult to give a percentage, which is sure that we have people from everywhere. Not only local, but also people from abroad. And it's also more and more tourist agencies are asking for having accessibilities for aging people. So in fact, everything is linked, in fact, but more and more people are asking and yes, it's really adapted, in fact, and we have more and more people who are asking for that, for these reasons.
Okay, thank you, Veronique. And now for Ainara, and yes, for Ainara, I will come back to everybody. Regarding your impact, do you have also an idea? And this would be also nice to understand if this has a financial impact. Of course, I suppose that this time it's not for sure that is your purpose, and because you are investing more money and you are being, I would say, innovators in this area. But I would like to know if you have an idea of the impact, how many people came there, and if there is a difference between Spain inclusion in the United States and in Spain.
I don't have I don't have the numbers for our in our American winery. Sorry, I don't have that data. But yes, it's different because obviously because of the size of the winery and because of the year that winery was constructed. Our winery was built in 1985. With lots of stairs, with lots of tanks everywhere. And the other one, the American one, here we have a capacity of 1.5 million bottles per year. And in the United States, the winery was finished in 2019. And there the production is 100,000 bottles. So there is very modern, small. We have elevators. And normally in America, they don't like tours. They prefer, they rather drink wine, make wine tasting. So there we have adapted all the data regarding the wine tasting. Also the tour, we make tours, but maybe a tour here is 1.5 hours and there maybe is 20 minutes. Okay, so there they have adjusted more the information. Also the wine club, there we have a wine club information. So if you have a disability, you can log into our wine club because they have adjusted all the text, the tasting notes, the menu, because here we only have tours, and there we have tours and restaurant, wine tasting room and restaurant. So we have adapted the menu, the tasting notes and everything. So, but I don't know how many visitors we receive there. I don't have that data, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Analia, I don't see here anything else to you. Well, but I'm sorry, I have quite a few then. How many languages are there? And do users need to know the new sign language before they use the app?
Yes, in 4 languages: Portuguese, French, Spanish, and English. The first questions. Yes.
Okay, and the second, do users, I really enjoyed that you started with Portuguese, but do users need to know the new sign language before they use the app? Okay. We are waiting of the connection of Analia. We are not hearing you.
Yes, I have a little problem. So note, it's not necessary because the app will teach you the sign. So I sent a video to Carolina that show the different signs, the different vocabulary of the wine industry. So it's a long video. It's for that. But Carolina, you can send the link, please. For the
Thank you,
people.
Carolina. Thank you, Analia. Oh, she sent the link yet. Analia, if we have time, I will have a next final question on the next round, okay? So now I will going to pass to Veronique again. And we have here some questions once again that is very interesting because they can be answered by Ainara de Dios and Veronique. But I will start with Veronique and then Ainara, if you think you can have your own input, please do it. And yes, so what's the main difference in the consumer behavior between people with special needs and other wine tourists? Example, do they stay longer in the region property? Do they book multiple experiences in one winery to reduce their commute? Do they tend to invest more in high quality experiences? Another question. How do you promote your properties to this audience? Are there any specific communication channels? If it is too much, anyway, it is on Q&A, so you can follow them. But I would love also to hear your experiences.
For the promotion, it's done through the tourist office, from the different associations, for the handicaps, from our website. So for different organizations, so it's in fact we have different channels for the promotion. And after, yes, I don't remember the first question. It was a lot of questions, but yes, for the promotion, it's quite easy because we have different possibility to do the promotion.
And if it is the behavior, so it is different. If they stay longer, if they book multiple experiences.
Yes, it depends on the people, in fact. But yes, in fact, we have a lot of association which could help the people with an handicap to organize their stay in the region, because we have a lot of possibility to be adapted to their handicaps. So it depends on the people, but yes, it could help to stay longer in the region.
Okay. Do they invest more in high quality experiences?
It depends on the people.
Okay. Ainara?
Yes, well,
Please.
regarding the promotion, we always work with travel agencies, associations, wine tourist offices, because in general, there are groups, although our tour is thought to mix in the same group people with or without disabilities or the different disabilities. In general, we receive groups with one or two disabilities. So it's normally through travel agencies and associations. And they come from close places, from close regions. I mean, normally they don't live here. They're from the Basque Country. We are Rioja in the north of Spain. Above us, we have the Basque Country. We have Navarra. So they come by bus from those close regions, and sometimes they don't sleep. They don't stay here. But one curious thing I love about these kind of groups is that they feel so thankful because of seeing that they can experiment, that they can do this kind of tours, enjoy the wine, enjoy, because during the year we make normal tours, but in September, October, we make a special harvest, accessible, inclusive harvest. So they can take the bunches of grapes, they can squeeze, make the juice, try the wines, and that's really nice to see. Yeah.
Thank you. I have here a question that I think that I can answer it. Do you perceive a difference between inclusive and accessible wine tourism, or do you consider both terms to be synonymous? No, they are not synonymous.
Yeah,
accessible. I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
Please.
it's okay. Sorry. Yes, the name of our experience of our tour is Inclusive and Accessible Wine Tourism, Inclusive and Accessible Tours. Because in general, in Spain, maybe the word accessible refers to physical barriers, to physical disabilities, and inclusive means to include, to join, to put together all kinds of disabilities. Because as mentioned during the presentation, also the organic disabilities, the people with problems with some allergies, some intolerances, people maybe with a small size, they also find they also feel disabled when they visit some areas, some companies. So yes, here in Spain, maybe accessible refers to physical, and inclusive refers to the rest of disabilities.
Okay, so there is a question here that I didn't know how to answer. That what are organic disabilities, but you have answered to that. And anyway, great. I think that we are going now to for our final round. Well, we will have time probably, because here we are when we are talking about usually inclusive or accessible and inclusion usually is also regarding people, and there is also here a question: how is inclusivity towards the LGBT community in more conservative wine regions managed? I think there is here. Yes. Okay. But I would say that inclusion is, as you said, for me, it's more wider than only physical or cognitive disabilities. And I think that I can, regarding the LGBT community, I don't think this is here the focus of all these ladies at this moment. Who knows in the future? But yes, because as and I can speak for myself and from a quite conservative country in Portugal, and I can be unfair regarding that. Usually, because we are quite open, there is not difficulties in accessible or for people from different communities. Is in my opinion. But anyway, I'm also working with these communities. Okay, so these are here some questions from wine maps that have been interesting, that they want to add the feature to include on their website what are the wineries that are accessible and what kinds of accessibilities they have. Great, and I think that this is great. What recommendations do you have? I'm sorry, one last for Analia. That is, do wineries need to have an interpreter?
Yes, an interpreter is needed in the wineries. That is why we need to train and teach deaf people. We need the interpreter in the wineries.
Okay. Well, I think that we have here, thank you, amazing comments and questions on our Q&A chat. I think that we have here almost 3 last questions. And so, what recommendations do you have for tour operators to make our tours more accessible and inclusive? Veronique and Ainara, do you receive tour operators, or do you have any kind of recommendations?
Yes, here we will receive tour operators. Yeah, normally most of our groups have to be accompanied by people without disabilities. So yeah, we work with tour operators. Yeah.
We are also working with tour operators. Yes.
Great. And are there special rates for these guests? Special rates, prices? For museums there are.
Yes, for the agencies and for the tour operators, they have, well, normally they make
I'm sorry. We are not talking about tour operators. We are talking about people with disabilities that you want to include, if you have different rates or prices for them.
Yeah, if they come in groups, we make discounts for people with disabilities and people without disabilities. Yes, we have special rates when they come in groups. Yeah. If they're individuals, it's the same price.
Okay.
That's also the same force. Yes, the same force.
Okay. This is interesting. For me, it's very interesting. I don't. Okay. Personally, I think that when you are presenting are exceptional. Does it exist a way for travel agencies to collaborate more with the example of wineries and the group of association that promotes more inclusive experiences in an European network? Well, Veronique, Ainara, Analia, I don't know.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, that would be really interesting. But in our case, our tour is only available in Spanish. All the videos, braille, all the materials are only in Spanish. So it would be nice to get into that journey of another year working for a tour in English, French, or Portuguese, our neighbor country. That is at this moment for us it's not possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, I think that this meeting that we are having here, that Great Wine Capitals has organized, is amazing. I am quite surprised with the amount of people that came and the interest of them. And as Celine is going to close this webinar, I would like to thank you, all of you, Analia, Veronique Bourrigaud, and Ainara, for your presentation and to share your great experience. For all everybody, we have here a quiz, so please fill these answers. It would be very interesting for us to have your opinion. And thank you again. Now I will pass the floor to Celine Bachelor.
Thank you, Bento. Thank you so much, everyone. As we come to the end of this insightful webinar, I'd like to express my gratitude to all of you for joining us today. Thanks also to my colleague to help me to organize this webinar. A special thank you to Bento and our 3 other speakers for the valuable insights and practical advices. and how we can collectively make wine tourism more accessible and welcoming for all. Before we wrap up, I'm happy to announce that our next webinar will take place on March 25th, 2025. We'll be diving into another crucial topics for the wine tourism industry. So stay tuned for more details. Thank you again for being here today and see you next time. Thank you.